JSnip4 here, Realist News, YouTube. 9 must-see gold charts, according to Silver Doctor's article, that we must see that shows a ton of gold. Literally, there's, literally tons. But chart the Shanghai Gold Exchange, which is not that old, and it's a physical exchange. The appetite of the people apparently using that exchange is just growing and growing. But before I get into that, I've got some bonus footage for you. You know my rant the other day about riffraff moving in and the one little 4-year-old moved out with their parents, of course, the riffraff mostly being the parents being passed on to the child at 4 years old, naturally. She's doing a fantastic job taking that input. Finally got out of there. Oh, thank God, maybe someone new will come in. We got some new neighbors. They're the best so far. But I did sense a little riffraff, as I mentioned. Can I just show you something real quick? Got home, was looking out my back window, back door. I could swear I saw some trash in my yard. No, I did not. Oh, am I? Oh, yes, I am. Okay. So if you don't mind, just take a little gander at this. Speaking of riffraff, I'd like to show you my backyard. That's our property, including that post, all the way down this property line. And this part of this one right here, see this one? All the way down this way. Now where that tree is, between that cardboard trash and this tree, is the neighbor's property. You can see they're doing something, throwing something out. This is on my property. That's obviously on my property, and most definitely on my property. Speaking of riffraff. Okay, so, yeah, about that riffraff stuff. They've been here for like 3 weeks now, maybe a month. I don't know, maybe a month. Trash day was yesterday. Now this is Friday. I'm doing this video Friday. Thursday was trash day. Not only was it trash day, Thursday is trash plus the blue trash bin day, the recyclable stuff, as in paper, cardboard, plastic, etc. They had all the time in the world to throw that away. And in case you're wondering, that crap has been out there for days. Now it's just in my yard. Because days upon days upon days ago, it was not real late at night, but I'm going to say around 10 o'clock at night, it almost sounded to me like someone was climbing up a ladder into our window. We got a 2-story house. I'm like, what the hell? My wife looked over like, what the hell is that? And so I run over there real quick to the window to see what the hell was that. And being the houses are, 8 feet apart, and they're so close to each other, obviously the sound, echo, etc. can play tricks on you a little bit. Sound like it was right outside the window. Someone's right there doing something. And I looked down there, and they were disposing of those boxes, big boxes of stuff, out in their backyard. Again, this was days and days and days ago. As in, not this past weekend, but I think the one before that. Because it wasn't this past weekend we did that. The one before that. So we're talking 2 weeks ago. I remember getting up, it was the weekend, it was late, and I was watching my show, but nonetheless, what the hell's going on? What is that? Oh, it's them. Oh, they must have got some furniture or something, Why didn't you dispose of that cardboard? You have the garbage cans, they come with the house, right? They're in that garage, they come with it. Thursdays, cardboard day and whatnot. Not to mention, you could just put it out there in the other bin if you needed to and have it thrown away. So this is, people, a few smart comments, oh, JSnip4, I'm riffraff and I hang around riffraff, and okay, you're knowingly, admittingly riffraff and hang around riffraff. I think you need to listen to Michael Jackson's song, Man in the Mirror. It's time for you to change that way. If you knowingly do this and live like this and hang around it, what's the old saying? If you hang around shit, you smell like shit. I'm trying to get away from shit. Well, we're going to pay a lot more rent than maybe we normally would, but that's all right. It's a nice big house, nice neighborhood. Let's do it. Unbeknownst to me, Section 8 subsidy Next one, Section 8. So I've got 2 Section 8 subsidies back to back next to me. My friend who I met through here, our kids, great guy, has one right next to him, etc. And I think there's one more behind us on the other side of the street, so a little bit away. Anyways, forgive me if I'm a little aggravated from riffraff. And now I come home and there's trash, cardboard boxes strewn everywhere that have been there for freaking days. And they're constantly going in and out of their back porch, by the way, so I know they know it and see it. Anyways, on to some more interesting news. SD Bullion, Silver Doctors, 9 must-see gold charts. From I think it was Jansen, not Canson, Bullion Star. Shanghai Gold Exchange, gold withdrawals. Physical gold withdrawals from the Shanghai Gold Exchange in January 2017 totaled 184 tons. This was 18% lower than January 2016, by the way, from the withdrawals from the same exchange, which was 225 tons. But there were less trading days in January 2017 for Chinese financial markets due to the Chinese New Year and Golden Week holidays falling within the tail end of January this year compared to having fallen in the second week of February last year. So there's a couple of reasons why. Gold withdrawals from the Shanghai Exchange are arguably a good proxy for overall Chinese wholesale gold demand, excluding monetary gold demand by the Chinese Central Bank. On a cumulative basis, the Shanghai Gold Exchange gold withdrawals have now reached 13,213 tons since the beginning of 2008, which is on average 1,450 tons of gold per year. Well, that's if you average it out. But there's a little chart I'd like to share with you that shows ain't nothing like 2008, 9, 10, 11, or 12. Okay, so I'm going to just click this magical button and let you take a peek at that chart. Notice around 2013, right in the center, 14, 15, 16, and now coming into 17. Tons of gold withdrawn from that exchange. Is this a trend or is this a one-off? But they smashed gold. Matter of fact, they smashed gold 2 days ago. Oh, they smashed gold and silver. Boy, silver was down 74 cents. $2 billion plus dollars. 23,000 contracts. Somewhere around 115 million ounces of silver dropped like a bomb in an instant. Do you think for 1 second, speaking of that some gold or a silver in this case exchanged from when someone demanded delivery and they took one warehouse's delivery and sent it over to some rich person or company or hedge fund or whatever, for safekeeping, they bought it? Not on your life. No silver moved anywhere. Nothing happened. Didn't have to call the warehouse. Just digital entries on a computer screen, flooding the market with a massive dump of contracts. So someone emailed me in my Realist News website, which emails me, and said, hey, I'm starting a White House petition. If it gets 100,000 people, they'll have to respond. So he worded up what has just happened in that takedown, manipulation, and he had a couple of his numbers wrong, and I said, hey, if you're going to do it, redo it. You just start it, get rid of that one, redo it, and try to fit this in there. And there's only so many words and characters you're allowed in there in the description. So he tried to implement some of the stuff I was telling him as best he could. So in the link description box of this video, there will absolutely be a link to the White House petition. And I urge every single one of you to go there and sign it, digitally of course, and then share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter, share it everywhere you can freaking think of. Go to other people's YouTube channels that you have, like you watch me every day or whatever. Go to the other people you watch every day or whenever you watch them, and post it in the comment. Hey, go, White House petition for manipulation of precious metals. Please sign it. That kind of thing. Because I'm just thinking, if 100,000 signatures happen, Donald Trump's the White House will respond. And it would be really, really, really nice to put that in front of the White House, in front of Donald Trump. At the same time, if you want to send that link straight over to Twitter and do an @RealDonaldTrump or whatever his name is on Twitter, I think it's Real Donald Trump, and a whole bunch of us end up doing it, and thousands of people end up posting that tweet or tweeting that tweet, he's liable to see it. It's going to have his name in it. And he may make a speech. He may say something about it. So you couldn't do that before. George Bush wasn't on Twitter. Barack Obama was not on Twitter. You might have heard a little thing from one of his people, but it wasn't, Donald Trump is on Twitter. So we can reach out to him. So back to the gold thing here. Chinese and Indian gold demand. Adding together Shanghai Gold Exchange physical gold withdrawals, Chinese central bank gold holdings, and Indian physical gold imports gives a workable proxy for combined Chinese and Indian gold demand, i.e. physical gold demand from the world's two major gold powerhouses, most of which is supplied by or passes through such nations as Switzerland, the UK, the US, Australia, and South Africa. Through to the end of December 2016, cumulative total gold tonnage for Shanghai Gold Exchange gold withdrawals, Chinese central bank gold holdings, and Indian gold imports was 21,175 tons, compared to 20,938 tons at the end of November 2016. Russian gold reserves. The Bank of Russia added a massive 1 million ounces, or 31.1 tons, of monetary gold to its foreign exchange and gold reserves during January, thereby signaling a strong start to its 2017 gold accumulation strategy. The January increase was on par with a similar increase of 1 million ounces which the central bank made in November 2016. The Russian central bank accumulates its gold via purchases from large Russian commercial banks, who in turn source the metal via agreements with Russian gold mining companies. The Russian Federation, through the Bank of Russia, now holds 645 tons of gold. After adding 200 tons to its gold reserves in 2016, the evolution of Russian monetary gold reserves during 2017 is a key theme to watch. And by the way, I have a chart to show you about their purchases. It looks almost the same as the previous one I showed you about the Chinese. So whenever I come out here and I'm telling you all these times, oh yeah, gold, the Chinese and Russians are buying gold. They're the ones that keep buying. I'm not kidding. Here it is. Up until the beginning of 2017, it is just growing and growing and growing. Again, is this a one-off or is this a trend? This is a trend. You can see 2006, 7, it's almost flat, right? And then 2008 starts, it's still just barely above flat. Then the party just starts getting going, and then you can see it's just been going up and up and up. Why are they doing this? Why are all these countries doing this? If gold is an old ancient relic, it's not money anymore, according to Ben Bernanke and central bankers. It is not money. There's no monetary value. It is nothing. And then Ron Paul asked him, then why do you central banks hold so much of it? Just tradition. Out of tradition. Oh, well, he says, why don't you... Well, before he said that, why don't you, if you sent central bank store, why don't you store diamonds or, pearls or something? It's just tradition. Oh, you mean because diamonds and pearls don't have thousands of years of history of being money? And gold and silver do? Oh, okay, gotcha. When I tell you that whatever the hell happens with the world economies, big crash, collapse, whatever and however it goes down, even if they were to do some kind of managed thing, that all of us got it wrong, made all of us get it wrong, doom and gloom of the worst epic proportions didn't have to come. It was very minor. Stand by 1 second. Yeah, so where was I? Kids knocking or ringing the doorbell out of control. So anyways, if we have this collapse of some sort, but it's not as bad as we thought. All these derivatives, they don't explode. They just get wiped away. They become nothing. It's a managed system. Donald Trump's handling it with the other leaders of the world. And look, guys, we understand we need to come to a new currency situation. We're all going to agree to destroy all of this debt and everything else. We're going to start over, but we're starting over with the new currency. It's going to be backed by gold. And lo and behold, somehow somehow, and I don't know how this is even going to make sense because I know the numbers and the debt and all that, but just pretend, make this for make-believe pretend, that we don't have that bad of a problem to deal with. Matter of fact, it was pretty easy. Like, whoa, that was shockingly like not too scary. Okay, good. Why would they still be purchasing gold and metals, whatever, out of control? Because they know whatever's coming back, the backing is going to be by gold. I've been saying that for a long time. If this isn't proof, then nothing is. Why? Again, that's what I showed you that chart. Russian central bank gold reserves. Russian central bank gold reserves. Why? Oh, why are they increasing? And the same thing with China and India. Why are they increasing if we have no use for this relic? Why don't these countries, including ourselves, just keep doing the paper money back by nothing thing? Why not? Because they know a debt super cycle is at stake and has to be dealt with. The argument could be made against how they deal with it. And I'd love for them to all deal with it in a fashion that hardly anybody felt any financial pain. But you can already see there are a lot of people feeling some financial pain. Venezuela, now Brazil, of course. Argentina's not exactly doing great. EU zone, Italy's in trouble. Greece, massively in trouble, been in trouble. They're about to break up over there in the UK, the EU, excuse me. Brexit, UK, left, etc. You can't leave without giving us $50 billion. Yeah, watch this. Watch us leave without giving you $50 billion. Remember? And someone said, Joe, it's not pronounced Jean-Claude Juncker. It's Juncker. With the J becomes a Y. Kind of like Julio. Okay. Jean-Claude Juncker. Like Yankovic, maybe, right? Weird Al's cousin. No. So anyways, I want to share this article because this is what I called absolute hard evidence. Just like I called November 2014 hard evidence, CME Group adds some new rules to paper futures contracts. Circuit breakers will trigger if the prices move too much. So isn't it fascinatingly, phenomenally amazing? They dumped 23,000, the club, silver contracts times 5,000 each, 115 million ounces of silver, over $2 billion worth, as fast as I can snap my finger. No circuit breakers triggered. That's because it only went down 74 cents. But that's interesting to see. Let me turn that off. It's interesting to see that it took $2 billion. It took $2 billion to push silver off 74 cents. And today, because it was like down to 1770 something. Or was it 1740? I have to look at the chart. Anyways, today it ended at 1801. It's back over 18 again. It's back over 18 again next day. They are having to dump more and more money to contain this thing. If there's only two things I could give you, the CME Group's rule change in 2014 because they expect the price to rise drastically out of control and they need to control it. That's why they did that rule change. That is proof positive in this type of data as well. Gold purchases by central banks and people nowadays are going up and up and up, and this is not a 1 or 2 year chart. This is an absolute trend. 2006, 7, 8, 9, you can see it. Tons and tons and tons of gold are being purchased. Why? If it means nothing. I'm telling you, when the day comes, there will absolutely be a revaluation of gold and silver. It's going to happen. I just gave you two fantastic reasons why. First of all, you better hope you have your medals. Okay? You better hope you have your medals. Take care.